Okay. Class. Get ready to continue our lesson of Introduction to Ratios. Thank you. So we're going to continue from our Generation Genius video on Intro to Ratios. Yesterday we learned that there are three ways to write a ratio. Can you please turn to your partner and discuss the three different ways? Class. Turn and talk. Okay, class. Thank you. What are one of the three ways we learned to write a ratio yesterday? Yes, Michael. Using the word to. Okay. Can you give me an example? Thank you. So, 3 to 2. Okay. Very good. That's using the word to. Who remembers another way that we learned to write a ratio yesterday? Lexi. Yes, excellent. 3 to 2. And class, who can remember what we call that math symbol? Yes, please. Colon. Very good. That is a colon. Now, there is the third way to write a ratio. Who can remember? Okay, Layla. Yes. 3 over 2. All right. Now we got to remember, and this is important, especially with this one. Because what does that look like to you, class? Yes, a fraction. And they are alike, but there's the one difference of a fraction to a ratio. Anybody remember yesterday? Okay. Thank you. That was excellent. Let me get my red marker. So let's see. He said, remember, fractions show parts of a whole, and we'll switch to, what's the magic color? Green. Ratios show parts to parts. So let's quickly use an example of that. Now I have some nuts in front of me, right? I have 5 walnuts, 2, 4, 5, and I have pistachios. And I get to eat these during lunch. And I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 pistachios. So now, with the fraction showing parts of a whole, the total amount of nuts, 5 plus 10 is, class? Excellent. 15. That's the whole. That's our denominator. The whole. Walnuts, class, how many did I say? How many did I say we had? Excellent. We have 5. So right there, that is showing parts of a whole. There's 5 walnuts out of a total of 15 nuts. And we can also write that, we'll call this one, this is our fraction. And here's our ratio. And we can also write 5 to 15. Now here is the difference. Ratio also shows parts to parts. So the total nuts we have are 15. That's the whole. The numerator shows, in this case, there's 5, I'll put WN, there's 5 walnuts. Okay? That's the excuse me, class. That's the numerator. How many parts? And the denominator are the total parts. That makes the whole, 15. But with a ratio, we can also do parts to parts. So I have 5 walnuts, 10 pistachios. Who wants to tell me how to write that? And I'll get a red and a blue. All right, George. Excellent. So parts to parts would be the 5 walnuts to the 10 pistachio. So that's parts to parts. Over here on these two, we have parts to whole. Okay, excellent. Now let's move on with our definitions of parts to parts and parts to whole. Okay, so we'll say part to whole ratio, a comparison of the parts of a whole to the total, T-O-T-A-L, total amount in the whole. Okay. Part to a whole ratio. A comparison of the parts of a whole to the total amount in the whole. All right, let's do an example of that now. What can we use besides our walnuts and pistachios? Let's use, okay, yes. All right, students in the classroom. Okay, let's count them. 13. All right, thank you very much, class. So, how many of the 13 were girls? Okay, we have 6. 6, and we'll use our word to 6 to 13. The 6 represents girls. 13, the whole student population of our classroom. I'll put students. Okay. Now, we have another way we can write these. We can do a part-to-part ratio. Okay. Part-to-part ratio. Excuse me, class. Part to part ratio. Okay. Can anybody remember what a part to part ratio is? Okay, very good. Again, may want to fill in the last missing piece. That's right, the total amount in the whole. Okay, so excellent, class. A comparison of a whole excuse me, a comparison of two parts from the same whole. Okay. A comparison of two parts from the same whole. Well, up here, we did the part to the whole. We already counted that there's 13 students in the classroom. And we did girls as parts to the whole classroom. And we came with 6 to 13. Now we do parts to parts. Girl to boy ratio. Okay. So what do you say that is, class? Excellent. 6 to 7. So we have 6 girls, and I'll use the colon on this one. 6 girls to 7 boys. Okay, and if you add 6 and 7, class, what do we get? Excellent, 13. And you'll see that equals, or it's the same as the whole. So 6 girls to 7 boys. All right, now we often say, oh, Mr. John, why do I need this? Well, we use this a lot. I'd like you to talk and turn to your partner for 15 seconds and find out or come up with a few ways that we use ratios every day. You might not even be realizing it. Go. That's an excellent example. I like the talking over here. Very good listening. Excellent. Excellent job there. Okay, 5 seconds, class. Okay. Class. Thank you. Who came up with an example? All right. Caitlin. Excellent. When you're baking, you might have to have a ratio for pancakes, 2 eggs to every 4 cups of flour. Okay? That's great. Excellent job. Anybody else? Yes, Kai. Oh, that's really good. I like that. So, if you have a dog, your dog, would you say ears? Okay. Your dog, I'll put that one in. Let me just mark this one. Eggs to flour. And then you said your dog has 2 ears to 4 legs. Ears to legs. That's excellent. I love that. All right. So as you can see, sometimes we don't even realize we're using the math that we learn in the classroom when we're out in the world. And it's fun. It's fun to make that connection. Okay, so I would like to have Group B come up here with me. We're going to work on some part to whole ratios and part to part ratios with our walnuts and pistachios. You'll demonstrate different ratios using these pistachios. Group A, would you please go to page 22 and do the 12 exercises on intro to ratios. If you finish, then there is an exit ticket on the back table. Print it out. But before you get to that exit ticket, I need you to tell me what goes on the exit ticket. Yes, name and boom, date. Thank you very much. Name and date. Class. Name and date. Thank you. Excellent. The exit ticket's going to be a rectangle is divided into 8 equal squares. 3 squares are shaded. Describe the rectangle with a part-to-part ratio and a part-to-whole ratio. Okay. Group B, come up here with me. Bring your notebook and some colored markers. Group A, start on page 22. And then if you finish, please do the exit ticket and put it in the math box when you're finished. All right, class, let's go.